We shall again continue with the topic of relations. So let us continue with the topic of relations, and we shall discuss a few more examples related to the types or the properties of a relation. Now, the first example is, give an example of a relation which is not reflexive. You see your first question. We have to find out a relation which is not reflexive. So we recall that R is a relation on a set E, and the set A is having three elements, 1, 2, 3. Now we have to find out the relation R so that R should not be a reflexive relation. Now for a reflexive relation, A should be related with A for all A belongs to A. Now, what does it mean? The ordered pair AA should belongs to R. Now, here we have three elements, 1, 2, 3. So the ordered pairs 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 can be there. And suppose we have 1, 2 also, and we have 1, 3 also. Now, if we take 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, all of these pairs in this set of relations R, then the R relation becomes a reflexive relation. So for me, making it is not a reflexive, we have to remove any one of these at least. So suppose I remove 3, 3 from here. So now the relation becomes a not a reflexive relation. In place of 3, 3, you can take a 2, 3. So this is a good example which is not a reflexive relation. Now suppose we have to take the example of a relation which is both symmetric and antisymmetric. Symmetric and antisymmetric. So we know the property of symmetric. If A is related to B, then B should be related with A. This is the property. But in case of antisymmetric, if A leads B, B leads A, then both elements should be same. For all AB belongs to the set A. Now this is the difference between the two properties. So for the same set A, we can take the elements of a relation that is 1, 1, 2, 2. Now this relation is a symmetric relation because if 1 is related with 1, then obviously 1 is also related with 1. Similarly, in case of 2, 2. Now if A relates B, B relates A, then both are same. So this satisfies the relation which is both symmetric and antisymmetric. Now give an example of a relation which is reflexive and symmetric. Now, for a reflexive and a symmetric relation, we have to form for the reflexive property 1, 1 should be there, 2, 2 should be there, and 3, 3 should be there. And if we have a 1, 2 in the relation set, then 2, 1 must be in the relation set. So if we take 1, 3 in the relation set, then the 3, 1 should be in the relation set. और अगर हम लोग 1, 3 ले लेते हैं, 3, 1 नहीं लेते हैं, then that relation is not a symmetric relation. But now, in this case, it is both reflexive and symmetric. Further, we can take the example of a relation which is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Now, The set of parallel lines, as we have discussed in the previous class, is always a reflexive, symmetric, and transitive relation. Because जो तीनों properties satisfy करते हैं, that relation becomes an equivalence relation. So this is a good example of an equivalence relation. But in the current set, 1, 2, 3, we should have the elements of R. For reflexive property, it should be 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3. And for symmetric property, if 1, 2 is there, then 2, 1 must be in the set. And if 1, 3 is there, then 3, 1 must be in the set. Now, this is the relation which is reflexive and symmetric. For making it transitive also, now transitive property says that if A relates B, B relates C, then A should relates with C. So just see, 1, 3 is there and 3, 1 is there. So 1, 1 is also there. Okay. 3, 1 is there and 3, 1, 1, 2 is there. 3, 2 should be there. 3, 2 इसमें नहीं है तो 3, 2 इसमें लगाना पड़ेगा. So by this way we can make the relation as a transitive relation. Also 2, 1 is there, 1, 3 is there. So 2, 3 should be in the set of relations. So this makes the transitive property satisfied. I think nothing is left except it. So this is an equivalence relation. So the set of parallel lines is also an equivalence relation, and this is also a good example of an equivalence relation. Now we can also form an example in which the relation is symmetric and transitive but not reflexive. This is very important. The symmetric property is there, transitive property is there, but reflexive is not there. First of all, the empty set relation is also always satisfies symmetric and transitive, but it is not reflexive. This is a good example. But according to the set A having elements 1, 2, 3, so for we want that the relation should not be reflexive. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 should not be there. So you can take all the remaining elements. 1, 2 is there, and suppose I take 2, 1 should be there for symmetric. Similarly, 1, 3 is there, and 3, 1 is there, 3, 2 is there, and 2, 3 is there. So we have to remove one of these. So suppose I remove this one. ये हमें हटाना पड़ेगा यहाँ से. मैं अभी बताता हूँ क्यों हटाना पड़ेगा. आपने रिमूव करा 3, 2 and 2, 3. Remember, these two elements I have removed from the set of relations. अभी मैं आपको बताता हूँ. सबसे पहले सिमेट्रिक 1, 2 is there, then 2, 1 is there. So 1, 3 is there, then 3, 1 is there. This is symmetric property. Talk about transitive. 2, 1 is there and 1, 3 is there, then 2, 3 should be there. Now 1, 3 is there, 3, 1 is there, 1, 1 should be there. So you can take. Now 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 is there, so 1, 1 is there. And suppose I take 2, 3 is there, 2, 3 is there, 3, 1 is there, so 2, 1 is there, transitive property satisfied. And 1, 2 is there, 2, 3 is there, and 1, 3 is there. Okay. Now this satisfies the transitive property. And one more thing, 3 1 is there, 1 3 is there, 3 1 1 3, 3 3 should be there, should be there. This makes the transitive properties satisfied. Now let us come to reflexive. Why it is not reflexive? इसमें 1 1 है, 3 3 है, लेकिन 2 2 नहीं है. So because A is not belonging to R for all A belonging to the set A. That is why this set of relation is not a reflexive relation. इसीलिए 3 2 2 3 was removed because 2 3 is there, 3 2 is there, then 2 2 भी इसमें रखना पड़ना था. अगर हम लोग ये दोनों भी इसमें इंक्लूड कर लेते, so 2 3 and 3 2, then by transitive property 2 2 should be there. तो 2 2 भी डालना पड़ा और 2 2 डालने से ये रिफ्लेक्सिव बन जाना. So that is why we will not take this pair of ordered set. This pair of elements we will not include in the set of relations. Now let us move further. We have the example. The examples of a relation are R is a relation with ordered pairs x, y, x is greater than y on the set of n. N is the set of positive integers. We are taking the set. And we have to determine whether the relation R is a reflexive, symmetric, transitive, or antisymmetric. Let us discuss. First one is reflexive. This relation is not reflexive because 1 is not greater than 1 or 2 is not greater than 2. So this is not reflexive. For example, as 1 1 does not belongs to R. So this is not satisfying the reflexive property. We also have another relation. R के साथ एक और relation लीजिए, S. S is the set of ordered pairs x plus y is equal to 10. And we have another relation T, set of ordered pairs, so that x plus 4y is equal to 10. Now, xy belonging to n, the set of positive integers. Now we have three relations R, S, T, and R is not a reflexive. What about S? S में whether it is a reflexive relation or not, this property is not satisfied for all integers, positive integers. 1 plus 1 is not equal to 10. 2 plus 2 is not equal to 10. 3 plus 3 is not equal to 10. Only 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. सिर्फ 5 इंटीजर के लिए ही प्रॉपर्टी सेटिस्फाई होती है, and this property is not satisfied for all. So R is not reflexive, S is not reflexive. Similarly, T is also not reflexive. तो ये तीनों की तीनों रिलेशंस रिफ्लेक्सिव नहीं है. Talk about the symmetric property. When you take x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 6, then clearly y is greater than x, but x is not greater than y. It means R is not a symmetric relation. So R is not satisfying this property. Now, in the case of S, S is a symmetric relation because x plus y equal to 10, so y plus x will always be 10. This is the meaning, what we are saying. Suppose we take, in case of S, x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 9. So 1 plus 9 is also 10 and 9 plus 1 is also 10. And this is one pair of elements x, y. एंड इट, अगर आप 2 और 8 लेते हैं तब भी ओके है, अगर आप 9 और 1 लेते हैं तब भी ओके है, अगर आप 7 और 3 लेते हैं तब भी ओके है. So this property is satisfied for S, but for T, the relation T, when you take x is equal to 6, y is equal to 1. So x plus 4y is equal to 10 holds. No doubt about that. X plus y is always equal to 10. It means 6, 1 belonging to T relation, but 1 6 does not belongs to T. Because जब आप x को 1 लेते हैं और 6 को 4 भरते हैं, y को 6 भरते हैं, तो 6 4s are 24 plus 1 25. 25 is not equal to 10. So T is not symmetric. S भी symmetric है, R is not symmetric, and T is also not a symmetric relation. Now the next one is a transitive property. For transitivity, let xy and yz belonging to R, then clearly, what does it mean? Then x is greater than y and y is greater than z. It gives us combine करके x is obviously greater than z. And what does it mean? X z ordered pair should also belongs to R. So R is a transitive relation, and for the relation S, for checking the transitivity of S relation, suppose we take the example 3 7 belonging to S. X is 3, y is 7. Then 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. And 7 plus 3, 3 7 is equal to 10. Suppose I take a 7 3 also belonging to us, then 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. And by transitive property, this is AB and this is BC. And transitive property says then AC 3 3 should belongs to S, which is not possible because 3 plus 3 is not equal to 10. So it does not satisfy transitive property. Let us talk about the transitivity of T. We can consider XY ordered pair belonging to T. What does it mean? It means that the combination X is related to this gives that X T is the relation. So XTY, therefore X plus 4Y is equal to 10. And similarly, we can take YZ belonging to T, then Y plus 4Z should also be 10. Therefore, by transitive property, XY, YZ. Therefore, for transitive property, X plus 4Z should also belonging to T. Means to say that ये T को कब belong करेगा जब आपके equal to 10 आ जाएगा. Let us check whether it comes out to be equal to 10 or not. X, the value of X from here, 10 minus 4Y plus okay, X plus 4Z, X plus 4Z, X को as it is रखिए अभी, X को as it is भर दीजिए, प्लस 4 Z की वैल्यू यहां से आ जाएगी 10 माइनस y अपॉन 4. सो X plus 4 is cancelled there, that is 10 minus 4 y is there. So X plus 10 minus y. The value of y is, the value of y will be from this. The value of y is 10 minus x over 4. So this comes out to be x plus 10 minus 10 over 4 plus x over 4. X plus x over 4 is 5x over 4. And 10 minus 10 over 4 is 30 over 4. And this value is not equal to 10. And if this value is not equal to 10, so we can write down like this. अगर ये 10 आ जाता तो फिर okay, but if it is not equal to 10 for all x, y, z belonging to the positive integers, therefore x, z ordered pair, because we are checking x plus 4z, it does not belongs to T. It means it is not a transitive relation. So similarly, we can check the antisymmetric property also. This is the last property which we have to check. Antisymmetric. For antisymmetric property, it is obvious. In the case of R, if x is greater than y and y is greater than x, then x is also equal to y. For all xy belonging to positive integers, therefore R is antisymmetric. R is obviously an antisymmetric relation. Let us talk about S. So let 2, 8 belonging to S. This implies 8 2 belonging to S by symmetric. Symmetric के लिए ये हमें antisymmetric के लिए चाहिए. So from these 2 should be equal to 8. Antisymmetric के लिए A should be equal to B. So 2 is not equal to 8. It means S is also not anti-symmetric. For T, let xy belongs to T, therefore x plus 4y is equal to 10. And if yx belonging to T, therefore y plus 4x should also be 10. और इन दोनों से कंबाइन करके अगर x equal to y आ जाए, then it is okay. So we have right hand sides are same 10 10, so left hand side should also be say equal to the left hand side of the second equation. So this gives that minus 3x is equal to minus 3y. It means x is equal to y. Both are equal, hence T is anti-symmetric. देखिए एंटीसिमेट्रिक के लिए यही था कि एक्स वाई बिलोंगिंग टू टी हो, वाई एक्स बिलोंगिंग टू टी हो, देन एक्स शुड बी इक्वल टू वाई. सो टी इज एंटी symmetric relation. Let us move further. Prove that the set of congruent triangles is an equivalence relation. This is the congruence relation on the set of triangles. So this is the meaning is congruent to. So let A is the set of all triangles in a plane, and R is the relation. The relation on A is the set of all triangles, and it is defined by that the triangles are, the first triangle is delta 1, delta 2 belonging to R implies delta 1 triangle is congruent to delta 2. Congruent means their sides and corresponding angles are same. So this is for each delta 1, delta 2 belonging to the set A. That is the set of all triangles. So this is the relation. Now, equivalence के लिए first one should be reflexive, and we know that every triangle is congruent to itself. So therefore, delta 1 is related to delta 1 for all delta 1 belonging to the set A. So it means it is reflexive. The second one is symmetric. If delta 1, delta 2 belonging to A is the set of all triangles. So delta 1, delta 2 are coming from the set A, then so that delta 1 is related to delta 2. And what does it mean? This gives that delta 1 is congruent to delta 2. So from this we can also write down delta 2 is congruent to delta 1. Just like a line is parallel to another line. So L1 is parallel to L2, then L2 is parallel to L1 also. So similar is the case of congruence property. If delta 1 is congruent to delta 2 triangle, then delta 2 will be congruent to delta 1. So this gives that delta 2, delta 1 belonging to R. Therefore, it satisfies symmetric property. And the last property is the transitivity. So for transitivity, let we will have three triangles, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 belonging to the set A, so that delta 1 is relating to delta 2. चाहे हम ऑर्डर्ड पेयर में लिखें चाहे ऐसे लिखें, दोनों का मीनिंग सेम है. एंड delta 2 is related to delta 3. Therefore, what do we want to prove? What does it mean? It means that delta 1 is congruent to delta 2, and delta 2 is congruent to delta 3. So what does it give? First triangle is congruent to second, and second is congruent to third. So this gives that the first triangle is congruent to the third triangle. So what does it mean? Delta 1, delta 3 belonging to the set of relations R. Hence, it becomes transitive also. So reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Therefore, the relation R is an equivalence relation. And what was your relation R? Relation R is the congruence relation. Now we have another example. The example is, consider the set of integers and an integer m is greater than 1. We say that x is congruent to y module m. So it can be written like this: x is congruent to. Now this is the symbol for congruent to module m. Module word is like this. Now what does it mean? If x minus y is divisible by m. This is the meaning of this. Or if x minus y is divisible by m, divisible mean exactly divisible. Suppose 6 divide 2. 6 is an integer, 2 is an integer. Outcome come out to be 3. It means 6 can be written as 3 into 2. Divides mean, divisible mean exactly divisible. Means remainder is 0. So what does it mean? It means that x minus y can be written as the multiple of m, where k is also an integer. So we want to prove that this congruence relation is an equivalence relation. And for equivalence property, first one property should be reflexive, which we have to satisfy, then symmetric, and then transitive. So for a reflexive property, we know that for any integer x, x is always congruent to x module m, because x minus x is divisible by m. Why so? X minus x comes out to be 0, and 0 is always divisible by m, and quotient comes out to be 0. So it means the reflexive property is clearly satisfied. Now let us talk about the symmetric property. So let x is congruent to y module m. And for symmetric, what we need to prove? We need to prove that y is congruent to x module m. This is we need to prove. Now, what does it mean? It means that x minus y is divisible by m. This is the meaning of this by definition. So we can write that x minus y is an integral multiple, that is some k1 into m, some integer k1. We can write down the quotient is k1. Now, if we write like this, multiply both sides with a negative sign, you will have this value, and that can be y minus x is equal to some positive integer k2 into m. What is the k2? K2 is a negative of k1. Negative of an integer is also an integer. So it means y minus x is divisible by m, and we are getting quotient k2. So from this we can write down y is congruent to x module m. So this is satisfy your symmetric property, and we can say that the congruence relation is symmetric. And the third one is we have to satisfy transitive property. For transitive property, let x is congruent to y module m, and y is congruent to z module m, and at last we shall prove that x is congruent to z module m. This is we want to prove. Now from this it means x minus y and y minus z are divisible by m. So if these are divisible by m, then x minus y can be written as k1 into m, and y minus z can be written as k2 into m. And k1, k2 are integers. So adding these two, you will have x minus y plus y minus z is equal to k1 m plus k2 m, and ultimately from this y will be cancelled, and you will have x minus z is equal to k1 plus k2 into m. So it can be written as x minus z k1 plus k2. Two integers are there. Sum of two integer is a new integer k. And what is the k here? K is equal to k1 plus k2 belonging to the set of integers. And from here we can write down x minus z is divisible by m. And if it is divisible by m, and the quotient we are getting, that is a. So it means x is congruent to z module. So here the congruence relation is transitive. Now already we have proved that is reflexive and symmetric, and now it is transitive. Hence we can conclude that the congruence relation is an equivalence relation. So this is the property by which we can prove that the relation is an equivalence relation. We also have example. The example is, let A be the set of integer, A be the set of integers A is written as the set of integers, and let, this is the symbol for the relation. This is the relation on A cross A. Obviously, the elements of A cross A will be ordered pairs defined by A B is equivalent to. जनरली मैथमेटिक्स में हम ये सिंबल इक्वलेंस के लिए यूज करते हैं. ए बी इज इक्वलेंट टू सी डी इफ A plus D is equivalent to B plus C. So this is the relation defined, and prove that this relation is an equivalence relation. So for this, first property should be reflexive property, and A for reflexive property, what we require, A B is equivalent to AB, and obviously A plus B is equal to B plus A. So obviously, which is true, always true, which is true always. Hence, this equivalence relation is a reflexive. The second property is symmetric, and for this, let A B is congruent to or is equivalent to CD. Then what does it give? A plus D is equal to B plus C. And from this, we can have C plus B. B plus C can be written as C plus B. And D plus A plus D can be written as D plus A. And what does it give? It gives that CD is equivalent to A and B. So this is the symmetric property. The third one is transitive. And for transitive property, we shall have, let AB is equivalent to CD and CD is equivalent to EF. Now, what we want to prove for transitive? AB, we want to prove that AB is equivalent to this EF. This is we want to prove. Now, what does it give? It gives that A plus D is equal to B plus C. And what does it give? It gives that C plus F by definition is equal to D plus E. Now, adding these two, adding, you will have A plus D plus C plus F is equal to B plus C plus D plus E. Now, what you will have A plus F because D and C will be cancelled with C and D on the right hand side. So A plus F is equal to B plus C. Now it gives that AB is equivalent to EF. Sorry, E is left, not C. C will be finished here. So that is equal to B plus E. So AB is equivalent to EF. So it gives that equivalence is transitive. So already it is a reflexive and symmetric, hence equivalence relation is an equivalence relation. Equivalent, not use word equivalence, don't use it. This is equivalent relation. So the relation is an equivalence relation. This is the symbol which is used for is equivalent to. This symbol has also been used in matrices. If we say that a matrix A is equivalent to a matrix B. So I stop here. Thank you very much. We shall continue in the next class. Thank you very much.